Ellis Van Jason, great drone, FPV, cinematic pilot and cinematographer, just returned from a 2-week expedition through the jungles of Venezuela to FPV, the world's tallest waterfall, Angel Falls, which is almost 1,000 meters tall. With his friends, Ellis explored the jungle for days by boat, foot, helicopter and drone to show us something unique. So fasten your seatbelts and enjoy the ride down the world's highest waterfall. Especially now when travelling around the world is still a bit difficult in many places, watching such great views in high resolution is just amazing. And it's a great way to start another Sports News episode. I'm your host, REGAN TETLOW. Let's go. The last 18 months of restrictions due to the COVID pandemic created some significant challenges for the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix 10th Series. In 2020, most scheduled events were postponed until this year, 21, with the anticipation of being able to complete the series in preparation for the final in St. Aubin in September 21. To enable early decisions and planning for the final to go ahead, the SGP team, in conjunction with the FFVP, decided that each of the cancelled events should be allowed to nominate pilots for the final, and the organisers would automatically be accepted to hold the 11th series event. So joining the 10 who qualified from the events that took place are 8 pilots invited by the cancelled event organisers and the SGP team, the reigning champion and a wildcard entry for the host country. In summary, there will be 20 pilots accepted to compete in the 10th final from 10 countries. Organisers are looking forward to a very competitive and exciting final in September. This year, the United States Parachute Association, the USPA, turns 75. In celebration, the Parachutist magazine will feature a pictorial spread in each 21 issue, highlighting how the sport has evolved over time. And the USPA will promote all of the most interesting shots. The USPA is a private sports governing body for the sport of skydiving in the United States and around the world. Its headquarters are located in Fredericksburg, Virginia. The USPA's roots go back to the National Parachute Riggers Jumpers Incorporated, which was formed in the 1930s. USPA performs the following functions such as issuing sports skydiving licenses, publishing and maintaining skydiving training manuals, and it also serves as a legal advocate and political lobbyist for skydiving or providing third-party insurance for skydivers, plus much more. Don't miss out on all the celebrations of the USPA this year, and we here at Air Sports Promotion will follow them as well. Happy anniversary to all the members wherever you might be. He began skydiving in March 2010 and fell in love with the sport immediately. While still in college, he found excitement in the competitive side of skydiving, winning several medals in 4-way FS and sport accuracy at the USPA Collegiate Nationals and the US Indoor Skydiving Championships. Now he's got more than 3,000 jumps and he's known all over the world as a flight coach and for progressing the relatively new discipline of canopy flocking. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Matt Leonard. Some of the flocking that's happening now, Matt, is absolutely insane. Tell us all about it, especially some of the people who are not familiar with canopy piloting from other air sports. Just give us a rundown what flocking is all about.
Yeah, so flocking is kind of something that's a little bit different, or it's a little bit newer. Or I should say it's newer, but it's taken a lot of high-performance canopies, taking a lot of pilots from around the world, putting them together and kind of making cool formations in the sky. It's like kind of like non-contact crew. So it's a lot of fun. Started a couple years ago with Max Manow. Me and him, he's based out of Switzerland, started doing a bunch of this just after like comps or different boogies, the things, places we were at. And then ended up developing a group called Momentum, which kind of is based on educating people to kind of just get into it and learn a little bit more about it, about being a better pilot more than being like a swooper, you know what I mean? So being an overall well-rounded pilot and a safe pilot. compared to just being a really good a good lander, if we will.
It's quite amazing how canopy flight has evolved over the decades, from landing a parachute to performance with the parachute, with the landings, with the swoop competitions and high performance canopy piloting, and now with the flocking. It's opening up all the time, new development. It's quite interesting really to see it happening.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of, I don't know, it's opening the door, like I said, for people to be better pilots and better, more well-rounded. Right? So it's not just being like, you can be like a really great swooper or canopy pilot in that sense, but you're not relative to anyone else. You're always just by yourself. It's a very solo, individual sport, if you will, swooping.
Yeah.
So now kind of going into that flocking sense of being a good pilot, it's learning how to manage the control range of the parachute to fly with other people.
And you can watch the full-length interview with Matt, as always, on our YouTube channel. I love following all the latest on spaceflight, and it feels like we're in a new golden age. On the 1st of July, a Falcon 9 rocket launched the Transporter 2 mission, carrying dozens of satellites to polar orbit. The first stage of the rocket landed at SpaceX's Landing Zone 1 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida a few minutes later, and we have absolutely incredible footage of the approach and landing. Take a look. The touchdown marked the 89th recovery of a first stage booster for SpaceX and the first landing of the year. The company announced in 2019 that it would offer rides on its Falcon 9 rockets at certain intervals throughout the year and for $1 million per launch. Those flights can be booked through a dedicated website that SpaceX have created. The 2021 season of the Drone Champions League will be like no other, launching its first hybrid campaign with both virtual and real-life racing at over 160 kilometers an hour. Across 7 global locations, the recognised World Championships of professional drone racing teams will feature an intense new format, an exciting new team, the inaugural DCL Women's Cup, and more big surprises. The new season of DCL action will see the reigning champions, X-Blades of Great Britain, fight to defend their crown against the world's top teams in the series' biggest challenge yet, a hybrid season that will demand both virtual and real-life flying prowess, all streamed live globally on Twitch. Freestyle FPV drone pilots are always seeking great new spots to perform their skills, and Cricket FPV found something really special. Take a look. This is one of the best spots I have flown in a long time, said Cricket FPV, legendary US pilot. Maybe it's the fact that it's an old factory environment. Drone pilots can reach every spot that they crash. So where's the spot? Well, you can find the answer on the Cricket FPV YouTube channel. Electric aircraft developer Aviation has unveiled the production configuration for its all-electric Alice aircraft. The Alice is powered by 2 Magnix Magni 650 electric propulsion units equipped with a single volume high energy density battery system made from currently available battery cells and outfitted with a Honeywell fly-by-wire system. The aircraft will be capable of carrying 9 passengers and 2 crew. Andrei Guchenskov and coaches Darren Berg, Zon Stephanie Zonino and Sami Sukhdov were the first creators of the first ever Ukrainian wingsuit boogie in this country. 4 amazing great days of nice flying together with pilots from many different countries were registered by Mikhail Khrushchevskov. Slovakia-based Klein Vision successfully flew its aircar roadable aircraft prototype from Nitra to Bratislava last week. The 35-minute flight marks the first time the vehicle has travelled between two cities. Described as a dual-mode car aircraft vehicle, the Air Car is equipped with a 160 horsepower BMW engine and features an automated transition time of less than 3 minutes. This flight starts a new era of dual transportation vehicles, said pilot and company co-founder Stefan Klein, adding that it opens a new category of transportation and returns the freedom originally attributed to cars back to the individual. Well, let's see what the future brings. So while speaking about the future, the Coupe du Monde Gordon Bennett 2021 edition this year will lift off from Poland. And this is our new section about this legendary gas balloon sport. The Gordon Bennett updates are here now. My first Gordon Bennett 21 guest this week landed their gas balloon in Romania in 29 after travelling just over 1,774 kilometres from the takeoff site in Montbéliard, France. They spent more than 82 hours airborne and won the French edition of this amazing race. I had the great privilege to speak with the 29 winners, Laurent Chisbol and Nicolas Tietchi from the Switzerland 1 team, and I caught up with them in the basket. Laurent and Nicolas, in the basket, where are you right now?
Yeah, we are just in the basket, starting from Didier in Switzerland, our base camp, I would say, and yeah, we are ready to spend the night in the air. I will just show you the fantastic view we have here on the lake in Switzerland, and that will be a great night tonight.
Fantastic. How's the conditions? Are you going to travel far, or are you going to be around where you are, or how does it look?
Yes, maybe we have an opportunity to cross the Alps, but for COVID-19 reasons, we are not going that. And this night we are going to training flight, especially to land during the night.
Let me have a look outside. Let's see if I can guess the altitude. Let's see if my skydiver eyes can guess the altitude. Show me the outside. Let's have a look. I would say, oh no, I want to guess. I don't want to see. I want to guess. I would say 2,000 feet. 2,000 feet?
Yeah, 3,000 feet. That's a bit too low for skydiving for the moment, but we'll go higher during the night. For the moment, we just enjoyed the very quiet evening we have here in Switzerland with a fantastic coucher de soleil, you see.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, once again, a massive congratulations on your amazing win in 2019. It feels like a long time since that. Are you all ready for Poland? Everything prepared?
Yes, everything is quite ready. It was very difficult 2 years with the COVID situation, so that's very difficult to have some training flights with very long flights. So we have to stay in Switzerland more or less, and that's quite difficult for us. But we are really highly motivated for this competition in Poland, and I'm really I'm waiting for that, and we will be ready for sure.
So the rules of the Gordon Bennett gas balloon race are quite simple. The country that win the competition have the option to organise the event in their country 2 years later. So because this year the competition is in Poland, that means that the Polish team won in 2018. Now you probably already know that the 2022 edition will be held back in Switzerland. So how's the preparations going? I asked this question to the Switzerland 2 team, Kurt Freiden and Pascal Vitprachiga. Can you tell me a little bit about that process, about being the home country, the headquarters? What is the preparations that take part from now going forward?
Yeah, well, we have a really good luck here because the team organizing now Gordon Bennett 2022 is actually most of it coming out of the team from 2012. As you probably remember, that was starting in Toggenburg. The weather was not so great at the beginning, but the liftoff was then the more perfectly for that. So the team is quite well organized. They know already quite good what they all want to have there. And the second thing is, which is really great, to be also from my side to be really being enthusiastic is the liftoff is going to be out of the city of St. Gallen. So we are really having the liftoff area there in the middle of the city. So there's going to be really a good show there for people being there, but also for the whole infrastructure. So it's going to be easy to be there and to enjoy actually Gordon Bennett liftoff from St. Gallen.
Tell me a bit about the city. I'm not familiar with it.
Well, it's, I mean, in Switzerland, you have normally Zurich as a big one, then Geneva as the international one. And St. Gallen is actually a little bit, maybe sometimes not mentioning in the public, but it's a nice city. It's a historic city, has also their own monastery and has a long history in embroidery. So cloth making is really historic in St. Gallen, and it's close to the Lake of Constance. So it's really a beautiful city.
And the full-length interviews with both the Swiss teams can be found on the official gordonbennett.aero website. On the 3rd of July 1942, William Ebel took the Martin Model 170 for its first flight, lifting off from the waters of Chesapeake Bay. It was a flying boat, a prototype for a long-range patrol bomber. The Martin was 118 feet long with a wingspan of 200 feet. The total wing area was 3,683 square feet. The flying boat had an empty weight of 75,573 pounds and gross weight of 140,000 pounds. On the 4th of July 1927, the first Lockheed Aircraft Company Vega 1 aircraft made its maiden flight with test pilot Edward Antoine Belland at Rogers Airport in Los Angeles, California. The airport was at the present location of the Wilshire Boulevard and Fairfax Avenue, west of downtown Los Angeles. The Vega was very much state-of-the-art aircraft for its time. It used a streamlined monocoque fuselage made of strips of vertical grain spruce pressed into concrete molds and bonded together with Cassian glue. On the 4th of July 1973, one of the last Grumman Albatross flying boats in service with the United States Air Force set an FAI altitude record for amphibians when it reached 10,022 meters. This exceeded the previous record set 37 years earlier by 2,417 meters. On the 5th of July 1927, less than 1 year after learning to fly an airplane, Lady Bailey, with Mrs. Geoffrey de Havilland as a passenger, took off from the de Havilland Airfield at Stag Lane in London, England, and climbed to an altitude of 5,268 meters, setting an FAI world record for multi-placed light aircraft. So guys, as always, it's been a privilege for me to bring you all the latest news from the world of air sports and aviation. And on behalf of my air sports promotion team, I'd like to invite you again here next week to watch another show. Give us a like and a share if you don't mind. But until then, stay safe and keep your eyes on the skies.